It's the new year. Well, welcome. Welcome to the new year of 2025. It's amazing. It's nothing. You know what? Whatever. Nothing has changed. I know that it's, you know, the number has changed and all that. I want to be kind of corny with that stuff. The number has changed. Oh my goodness. But you know what? Nothing really has changed other than one thing, actually. There's a lot of renewed, rejuvenated motivation going on, right? Because a new year is the way that people kind of reset their clocks. You know, like I know that you reset your clock every day, maybe, or, you know, like every day or every week or every month or every quarter, stuff like that. Not, you know, it's not the best way to do that, right? But the new year is something that is stern with people. That's why there's something called New Year's resolutions, right? I want to talk about that. I want to talk about New Year's resolutions. And it's great. It is definitely great. I have my own New Year's resolution, and I'll tell you about it now. So my New Year's resolution is that, as you know, I have another channel. I do have a gaming channel, and I frequent there mostly, right? So I do a lot of my work there. I do a lot of streaming. I stream every single day, basically. And I also have, like, here and there some shorts and whatnot, and I really want to start going into video production, right? And I have a lot of content already. I have upwards to close to 300 videos, to like 270, roughly, like there. And it's been a better of 9 months. I've been streaming for 9 months now, roughly 9 to 10 months. And it's been great. It absolutely has been amazing. The thing about it is that because I also have a day job, I don't have a lot of time other than to stream. And here's the thing with it is that I love streaming because I treat streaming as a hobby. It is a hobby for me. I love video games. I love playing video games, and I usually just talk to myself, and I usually just talk while I'm playing. So might as well just stream it, right? That's like the whole concept of just stream it. If you're going to be playing it anyways and you have nothing better to do, just go ahead and stream it. It's one of the things. I have the privilege of doing that. A lot of technologies nowadays makes it easy for you to stream things and just to produce content out there. It's great. However, because of that, because of all the time that I have, and I also now have a podcast of what I'm doing right now, a lot of things have to be sacrificed. And for me, I don't want to sacrifice my health and well-being, right? So I have to spread my time thin, right? You're talking about, like, you know, like when you're getting your breakfast bagel. I don't know if anybody eats bagels in the morning. I love bagels. Bagels or boggles? Boggles? There's no such thing as a boggle, but a bagel, right? You got a bagel, you spread cream cheese, the Philly cream cheese and whatnot. Strawberry flavor is the best flavor. Comment down below which flavor you like in cream cheese in the morning. And you're spreading yourself too thin. There's not too much flavor in that bagel, right? So I have been spreading myself thin, unfortunately, because I wanted to, well, I obviously have a day job, and I also have my streaming. I also want to do more content creating, and now I also have a podcast. So there's multiple different things, and I also run a community on Discord. And so a lot of those things take up a lot of my time. And what I've done for this year, and mind you, the podcast is very new. I think it's like 2 months old. I think started it in like the end of November, so roughly around a month and a bit old. And I haven't been doing content in there, but also I haven't been doing a lot of shorts editing, and that's on me. It is on me, right? And I don't have the discipline enough to manage my time properly, and that's on me, right? No one else. Like, I could blame it very easily on work. You know, I have other responsibilities. I also have my entire life to live. I have, like, you know, my own adulting that I need to go through, and that's very easy for me to just say, you know what, because I have this, I don't have enough time for anything else. Well, it's a bad way to look at it for me, at least for me. And I need to somehow prioritize my time wisely, right? So there are things that I could maybe like I sleep a lot, right? I love sleep, and I think everybody, you know, loves sleep. It's just the best thing. And I just like to rest and stuff. And I have been putting a lot of hours into work, especially during the holiday season, that I don't get too much sleep. So now that there's a New Year's resolution, I want to get back into get back on track. There you go. Get back on track. And I want to prioritize some of that. And one of the ways that I'm planning to do that is by rigorous disciplinary actions, like not disciplinary actions, like disciplined actions, right? I want to make sure that I'm managing my times properly, wisely. I get the proper amount of rest during that time, and I also don't go over the allotted time that I planned on getting. So that means that I have to make my content creating very strict, and I have to make sure that I am also strict with my day-to-day life and stuff like that. And it's difficult, right? It is difficult because there's many things that I like to do. Obviously, most people like to do many other things. There's many things I like to do, and there's a lot of responsibilities that I have as well. And it was easier. It was much easier back in the day when, you know, I had no responsibilities. By the way, shout outs to all the kids out there that still, or the non-adults out there, I should say, that still don't have responsibilities, because you should enjoy your life without responsibilities, or very little responsibilities right now, because you will miss it. You will miss it. You will miss it so much when you don't have any responsibilities, or when you had no responsibilities, because having responsibilities is complete and utter doo-doo, right? And you have to be accountable for it. You have to be. It's, again, as I said before, it's very easy to just be like, well, you know, not my problem, not my fault kind of thing, but you don't learn from anything if you don't take accountability for it, right? So enjoy the time that you have right now, where you have parents or guardianship to kind of rely on, and like, you know, help you out on things. Even like you still have them to help you out when you're adulting and you're much older, but it's a guaranteed, I would say. I don't want to say guaranteed, but it's more likely when you're younger, right? Anyways, that's neither here nor there. I always tangent in these podcasts. Anyways, I have a lot of time. It's okay. So yeah, my New Year's resolution is to really just make sure that I'm kind of keeping myself on track, and I want to make sure that there are specific things that I'm gonna cut off the fat. You know, cut off the fat. So I'll do that. There are other ways for me to save time as well. I've already told you way back when that I'm also fasting. I don't know if I actually told you that. Anyways, I'm fasting. And fasting allows me to save a lot of that time, because I don't have to cook as often, right? So only eat one time a day. I don't have to cook as often. And I also save a lot of money. And also, because of that, I don't have to go out as often to buy groceries, right? So if you're putting all that together, I'm saving a ton of time. Saving a ton, because that's commuting, that's prep work. So a lot of that prep work, that's chores like cleaning the dishes, actually doing the prep for cooking itself, all that stuff. So a lot of that is now cut out. So I have that time management, right? And all that, like eating and stuff like, because you have to do that 3 times a day, right? So all of that multiplied by 3, that's how much time I'm saving. So a lot of it comes to things, and I'm still doing healthy, obviously, like, you know, I'm just eating everything in one go rather than eating sporadically throughout the day. So there's different ways for me to save. And again, you can do that different ways, right? If you're talking about time management, right? So you can split it up. Maybe you don't want to do 3 meals a day. Maybe you want to do 2 meals a day, 2 big meals a day, breakfast and dinner. You can do that, right? And that way it saves you, again, time, saves you money. One of the major things is saving you money, but a lot of the thing, you don't understand how much time you're actually saving when you're doing out and like going to groceries and stuff like that, because that cuts out, maybe if you went from 3 meals to 2 meals, you don't have to buy so much groceries, and all of a sudden you don't have to go to the grocery store as often, right? So it's cutting off that time so much. It's giving back so much of your time. So that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to give myself more time in the things that, you know, I could probably constrain here and there, and I'm gonna put that into something that's more productive and better for my time. Not necessarily productive, you know, resting is also productive, but I want to give back and do the things that I want to do. That's a lot better to word it, which is content creating. So I can't wait. So that's gonna be fun. It's gonna be really, really fun. I'm really looking forward to a lot of the content creation that I have, especially the discipline. The New Year's resolution is discipline. Disciplining myself. It like, oh my, I should stop saying that. It's not. I'm not like you know, disciplining myself. Like, oh yeah, you have to you know, do like a 50 billion push-ups or something. No, not like that. I want to have disciplined actions and a plan set out in mind, and that's my New Year's resolution. So I want to know what your New Year's resolution is, and it could be as simple as cutting off watching TV or something, right? Or don't doom scroll as often, right? Or all that stuff. Who knows? And the one thing that I want to really delve deeper into is how are you going to keep yourself accountable for the New Year's resolution? I have an entire platform that I have to take care of, maintain, right? So if I'm not producing content, that's how I keep myself accountable. If I don't produce any content, my platform suffers, and you know, like my content creation suffers because I'm not providing content for people, right? It's just the way that it is. It is doing its own work for me. Oh my gosh, hiccups. I don't know why I get hiccups every time. What causes a hiccup? That's my thing. What causes a hiccup? Why do I always have hiccups? Is it because I'm nervous? I'm not nervous, obviously. You know, I'm just talking on the microphone, right? I don't have to deal with chat or anything. I don't have to deal with all that stuff. I'm just talking on a microphone, just spewing words, just like word vomiting everywhere. I'm just that. I don't know. I really don't know what it is. I actually find, just another tangent, I actually find streaming to be more difficult than just content creating, right? Because content creating is, you have a planned script. Right now I don't have a planned script. I just kind of thought about this now, and just like a spur of the moment, just talking about it. That's why there's a lot of tangents. Whoops. But you have a planned script, and then you just read out the script. Nothing to bother you. And you can do that over the course of several days or weeks even, right? And then post-production happens and all that stuff, right? So you can do that. It's very, very comfortable to do that. Very comfortable. Streaming is on the spot, and you have to think about multiple things. You really do. Because it's like, well, the chat's talking about this, but whatever you're doing is doing that and all that stuff. So playing video games and talking at the same time really does, like, you know, like tests your multitasking ability, or even just splitting your concentration in half. It's crazy. Anyways, I don't want to talk about it anymore. We can talk about it in a different podcast, but let's talk about this one right now. I actually have a couple of podcasts planned. But anyways, the New Year's resolution. How are you keeping yourself accountable? How are you keeping yourself accountable? That's the number one thing, right? So what is it? What is it that's going to stop you from doing the thing that everybody does? Like, you know, that meme now that everyone's like, well, I'm definitely going to go out to the gym every single day, and I'm going to get myself toned and all that stuff. So January is when all those gym memberships just skyrocket through the roof. And then all the gyms are full. Every single gym. This is like gym season, basically. So everyone's going to the gym. January starts. Bam. Gym. Boom. So many people. Parking lot. I can't park because there's so many people. Then afterwards, about a couple of weeks or even just a month, February comes in, and it's like maybe half, you know, a lot. I'm being very generous. A lot of them stop at around February. A lot of resolutions, especially when it's a resolution they cannot commit to because it's too much, you know, they bit off more than they can chew kind of thing. It's too much for them. And then they're just like, I'm getting tired. Because these things are hard. These things are very difficult. When you start to realize the changes that you need to do in order for you to do something, it's very, very difficult. It is. It's so difficult to the point where you're just like, well, you know, I don't feel like it today. So what are you going to do? I'm just going to sit back, you know, relax. That's a rest day. Resting is a part of the process. But don't rest if you don't have to rest. You know, it's going to be difficult, and you're going to have to kind of work around that. And all of a sudden, people just think it's too difficult, and then they just stop. Instead of kind of reevaluating their kind of direction, they just kind of stop. So what are you going to do? And you see these actors and actresses and all these celebrities, every single celebrity, all these athletes and whatnot, they maintain this, right? They do maintain these things. And let me preface this, okay? Let me preface this, where a celebrity that has all these resources possible, how can they stay fit and trim and all that stuff? Or they can always look different, like they're always looking so good and suave and all that. The reason why they can do that is because they have a team of people helping them, because they have the resources and funds to do so. Us regular Joes and Janes, we don't have that. We don't have that capacity. Well, if you do, good on you. But the regular average person doesn't have that capacity. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do to maintain that motivation enough for you to keep progressing, keep doing it, keep striving? Because it's going to be difficult. And on those difficult days, that is the one thing. On those difficult days, what are you going to do? What are you going to say to yourself? Like, hey, guess what? You're going to have to wake up early in the morning, in the butt crack of dawn. What's going on? Well, I didn't mean that to rhyme, but you know what I'm talking about. Like, it's gonna be difficult. So what are you gonna do? And I say, take it slow. Take it slow. Don't push yourself so hard. Continue to do these things. And if it's difficult, that means you're doing something good. It is. It's difficult. Your brain has to get used to it. Your functions have to get used to it. Your entire body has to get used to it. It's difficult because you're not used to it. And that is a good thing, because if it was all easy, then you know everything. So it's difficult. Get used to it and allow yourself that time to get used to it. Don't push yourself to the point where you're going to hate yourself or hate the action, I would say. And you're just like, oh, I don't want to do that anymore. No, it's difficult. Stick with it, because as you progress, it's going to get less and less difficult and more easy, right? Because you've done it for so long and you've kept the discipline for like you kept your discipline at top notch, that it's gonna be easy. So I suggest for anyone that's having trouble, this is the start of the new year. This is the 2nd of 2025, second day, and I want you to realize, guess what? This year just started. You have the entire year. If you're really thinking about the entire year as that, this is it. Just stick with it. Stick with it. That's if you're having problems or if you're having struggles about keeping your resolutions up. Hopefully you find this podcast, and hopefully you're just like, this goober right here, can't believe he's telling me what to do. I cannot believe he's telling me what to do. I'm gonna prove them wrong. And I'm gonna be like, you know what? No goober on the internet is gonna tell me wrong, and I'm gonna do whatever I need to do. I want you to have that. Okay? I want you to have that. For yourself, really, and for your health. So whatever resolution you have, whether it be going to the gym or drinking more water or just listening to Goober's podcasts, I want you to maintain that course, because overall it's going to be good for you. And do you know what else is good? That this episode is done. So take care.